Welcome back to the World Cleanup Day show, coming to you live from beautiful Tallinn here in Estonia. It is a gorgeous Saturday here. The sun is shining. People are out walking around Freedom Square. We're just on the edge of the old town, the old medieval city here in Tallinn, and it is a stunning day. We've been having a great morning so far, tracking the World Cleanup Day progress across the globe. We started in Asia this morning. We're now making our way across Europe and Central Africa, and then we'll be heading over to Latin America and the US of A and Canada towards the end of the day. And if you just tuned in and you've missed the first part, what we're doing is over the 24 hours, we are broadcasting live for around half an hour every 2 hours. So every 2 hours, we have our news flash, our World Cleanup Day newscast, where we bring you some of the highlights, we check in with some countries, and we talk to experts and leaders and all different types of cool people. I'm Colin Flynn, I'm your host for the day, and it is a great pleasure to be involved in such a fantastic movement. By the way, coming up very shortly, we have an interview with a lady called Christine. She's a marine biologist. She is a really interesting person. She's from Germany, living in Texas, but at the moment she's in Costa Rica. And she went viral a few years ago when she pulled a full plastic straw out of a sea turtle's nose. The video was very hard to watch. The straw kept coming and coming and coming, along with blood and everything else. It sounds graphic, but that's the reality of the situation for many of the wildlife in the oceans. So she is really passionate about the cause, and we're going to go to her in Costa Rica very soon. But first, like I said, we've been checking in with all the countries, and let's continue to do that. We now go next to France.
I'm in the center of Paris, and we are cleaning a part near. It's not La Seine here. It's a canal, but it's not that far actually. And we have in this spot different people. I'm here with hello, Colombe Brossel, Deputy Mayor in Paris. Hi.
Hi there. Hey.
So Colombe came with us to clean the city, and we are waiting actually for Anne Hidalgo, which is the big mayor of Paris, as you may know, I guess.
Okay.
So, and we are also another other people here. We have one kid I want to show you guys. Alexandre, can Raf come with me for the live?
So what's the biggest issue there in Paris and generally in France? What kind of pollution is the biggest problem?
Butts.
Oh, really? Cigarette butts. Okay.
If you are in the city, but still we have also different landscape and different trash area in the countryside. For the moment, World Cleanup Day in France is engaging more people in the cities. So that would be our focus for next year, to go to the countryside with all the people there and to clean up the trash in the countryside and the forest. We have people in the forest, actually. We have people in beaches. But as you may know, 80% of the population is living in the cities. So we are engaging people where they are, because what is important is to give them the opportunity to clean the neighborhood. And so that they will be very keen to work all together after the World Cleanup Day. World Cleanup Day is just the beginning.
So how do you raise awareness, for example, about waste cigarette butts? You know, how do you raise the awareness? Obviously, Cleanup Day itself is raising the awareness, but that's like once a year. But rest of the year, how do you raise your awareness there?
First, we are really talking about the amount of liter of water that they can pollute. So we do that in our website and in our communication by different pictures to give the information for people. And then we also developed this year in France a solution to recycle all the butts everywhere in France with 5 companies which are partners of World Cleanup Day France, and they offered all to recycle all these butts. So it gives the opportunity to tell people, don't throw your butts anywhere, just throw it somewhere in the very good bin so that it can be collected and recycled.
Just one question. Is there any particular solution that you would like to highlight from France? You know, that it's either like raising awareness or some technology about the waste in general?
In France, we are working especially in gathering all the participants, I mean companies, who are the producers, consumers, who are the people participating in the streets, and local authorities. And what we do after walking up is to stay all connected in the territories so that we can develop solutions. Because in each territories, you need to have a new solution, and one solution in Paris is not the same in Lyon or in Marseille, where there is lots of people today, actually.
Can you finally see something encouraging for the rest of the world? Something nice.
I can give you our motto: less blah blah and more action.
Excellent. Thank you, Virginia from France. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Merci and au revoir, France. Thank you so much for taking part. And let's quickly go to another European country. We're going to Germany. We say Guten Tag, Deutschland.
It's amazing. Yes, we have. It's amazing. Yes, we have round about more than 80,000 people in the parks, on the rivers, on the beaches, in the cities. It's incredible. We have round about 500 cities who are involved in the project here in Germany. And I'm now here in the English Garden in Munich, and also in Munich is a big event. We have here in the park hundreds of people who are walking and make cleanups. You see it behind me. All the people are going out and making cleanup. It's incredible.
Did I hear it correctly? 80,000, did you say?
Exactly, Hal, yes.
Okay. So are you focusing on certain type of waste, like collecting the cigarette butts, or is it any other kind of waste and rubbish as well you collect?
Yeah, it's in the whole area of Germany the same issue, and it's the issue of cigarette butts and caps from the bottles. This is the main things we are find. But also bottles, glass, plastic. Plastic is a huge problem. It's a huge issue. What we see, all these things are collected.
So, you know, in Estonia, we have the stereotype that Germany is also a very clean country, but it's not necessarily so, right? People are still people, and they still, you know, throw away their rubbish. Yeah.
It's the truth. Germany, it's clean. We have a recycle system. You see that on the streets. It's okay, but it's not clean 100%. And what we find are tons of trash also in Germany. And so the thinking process is also starting here. Something also here is not on the best way. And it starts with you, with the people, and in this way, we need more awareness here in Germany. The best recycle process or system is nothing worth if the people not use it and go in the process.
What about the coronavirus situation? Does that have any impact as well on how many?
Yes, Corona is everywhere. Yes, also here in the cleanup we have. The people must fill out a form. The masks are everywhere, and this is the problems with the project or with the cleanup day. But also the masks are everywhere. Yes, you find it in the park, you find it in the streets, and in the whole area of Germany. It's everywhere. Everywhere here, really the same, and it's a new problem what we got with Corona. Yes.
Is there any particular solution you would highlight from Germany that would be perhaps an example for other countries? You know, that helps to reduce waste or raise awareness. You know, something that is unique to Germany, or you think it's unique?
This is a really good question. What is unique? You need awareness in the society. This is the start of everything, and this begins in the schools and in the kindergartens and in the companies. And maybe we are not so good in this topic, but we start in the last years. Also, let's do Germany together with schools, with the ministries to go more and more in communication. And we are on a good way. And we see this year the results of round about 100,000 people are on the street in Germany, and it's clean, by the way, not so, but we say or we think it's clean, and we see that people start to rethink. Here's a cigarette butt, or here's a cab. And then they start to think, and then they think about also every day. And because we have one World Cleanup Day once a year, but we have 364 days in a year where we live like this. And this is the question. So a cleanup or a World Cleanup Day helps to start changing the mindset. It's change making. Also, I think we are in a good way to make. We help the civic society to rethink the situation about our planet, about what is plastic. Is everything necessary? Must I buy everything what I need in plastic and double plastic packages? This is starting process. I think we are in this topic on a good way. So also the radio stations in whole Germany are calling yesterday and the day before and today calling for World Cleanup Day. And people say, what's this cleanup? Why? And then they go out. Also today we have a lot of communication. It's a long way, but you must go in direct communication. It's not simple. Say, yeah, easy circular economy and change your mind and go. No, you must do it. And let's do it. This is the effect what we see, what is really incredible, amazing so far.
That's great to hear, and I'm sure Germany, like many other countries in the world today, will be a cleaner countries, cleaner places by tomorrow. Holger from Germany, currently in Munich. Thank you, and all the best to you.
Thank you, and really good job.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen und danke schön to Germany there and all the great work being done. There's some more of our crew in the background, our friends walking by. It's a busy set. There's so much happening here. And we're leaving Germany now and we're traveling to the beautiful ancient land of Egypt. And in Egypt, we're going to say hello to Ahmed Mohammed.
I'm moving in Dahab. I'm going to one of the famous sites for diving in Egypt. In the world also, it's called the Blue Hole. We are going to the Blue Hole from Laguna. We keep moving inside Dahab because we had more than 10 diving centers. They are our partner in the World Cleanup Day, and all of them make cleanup campaign under the water and for the beach cleanup. So I'm visit everyone to say we are with you. World Cleanup Day is with you. We are watching you, and take some pictures for the final report about the day. Now I just finished with 2 diving centers from the morning till now. I have finished five sites. I met many people. They collect cigarettes and they collect plastic. Many of the plastic they have collected from many places. And my colleague Muhammad is in other place with other teams to say we are with you and we are joining this. And in the same time, our colleague in Alexandria in Mediterranean, they are making cleanup campaign with a school, more than 120 students making cleanup for the Alexandria. And we had that other team working in Luxor and Upper Egypt in the Nile River. We are making cleanup in every place had a water in Egypt, Nile River, Mediterranean, and Red Sea. And in Red Sea, we had CDWS. They are responsible for diving center here in Dahab. And we announced in the social media that we will make a cleanup campaign. Many have filled the forum and say we are part of the World Cleanup Day. And we come to them. We start since yesterday. We make a ride with a bicycle in Alexandria with 80 people have take them bicycle and move in the side of the sea to say World Cleanup Day. We are ready. We are here. Listen our voices. And we will keep our planet as cleaning.
So Ahmed, I really have to know, how does the Water Cleanup Day look like? Where do you do it? How do you do it? Who does it?
Who does it? Many diver. We had many diving center. My colleague Bakr, he is one of the famous people here in Dahab. You can see Bakr and Dr. Nabil. He is the responsible here for CDWS. He is responsible for every diving center here in South Sinai. And they make a connection with every one of the people to say to them, prepare yourself for the World Cleanup Day. Many people say we will make a cleanup under the water, and they're using them suits. I will share the pictures. And other people say we will make a cigarette cleanup campaign from the beach, and we keep move with them. I couldn't stay in one place because they are more than 10 sites. So I'm keep moving and moving and moving to take the pictures and to say to the people, you are not alone, we are together, and your voices are listened from us, and we will let everyone in the world know. Many diving centers have joined us with a zero budget. No diving center pay something. Every diving center asks them employee to can join this for free for a cleanup campaign, and they collect everyone, and everyone bring his things with him. And the Buck, my colleague Buck, have buy some waters and some things for the people to eat, to say thank you for your time. And I'm just arrived from Alexandria to Dahab. It is more than 800 kilometers. Came from 800 kilometers from yesterday to today, just to say to everyone, Egypt is here, and we are in the World Cleanup Day, and we join. I think we had more than 1,000 volunteers making cleanup in many places at the same time.
So the divers have to be professional divers, or is it, can I, if I just go to the beach, can I also join, like walking on the beach and clean the beach like this?
Yes, yes. People, every diving center have her staff, and them staff had a license to make a diving, and we make a call from 1 week to ask everyone, if you would like to join, you can fill the form, and we will take you with us with free. You don't will pay anything for equipment. Many people have joined, and the staff of every diving center say, we will work today for free. We will use our equipment and ourselves to join, just to say we are care about our planet. And we have the Blue Hole. Blue Hole is one of the 10 famous dive centers and dive site in the world. It is very famous, and it is inside protected area. So everyone try to join them, and in many other places have joined us, and everyone in the beach. Some people watch us make a cleanup. They say, we would like to join you. They are tourists. We would like to join you. We say, welcome, welcome, join us, join us.
So when the divers go into the water, what have they found already?
They found plastics, bottles of the plastic, and the glasses of bottles of the glasses of vodka, and they found a pampers for the baby. We don't know how is it have gone to sea, and they found many cans and this water, and I think you can find collection of plastic under the water. And in the beach, I will share a picture. They have collected a very big bag in half an hour. 2 persons have collected very big amount of cigarettes. So they say, everyone, you can join us, and everyone can do something. And we are with the Bedouin people. Dahab is located in a Bedouin place. So Bedouin and local community also have joined us to say, we are here, we are with you.
Well, it's very great to hear that. So thank you so much, and have good luck visiting the divers, and you will drink a lot of water.
Thank you very much, Ahmed Mohammed there in Egypt, for that great report on how things are doing here. And how about this? I think people are very sleep deprived in this office. There's Mr. Cigarette. Don't smoke, kids, but there we go. Of course, this year we're focusing on cigarette butts, and our friends at an advertising agency have created this. What's the name of the advertising agency again? Didn't they do a great job in those adverts they made?
Absolutely.
So creative, and they made all those different scenarios and different movies, and these are the characters. Hold it up so Mustafa can see it on camera. Isn't that cool? That's really cool. Now you can't light that and smoke it, can you? No.
Of course.
No, don't. We don't encourage that. We don't encourage that. But
come to.
Why, you want to show me something? Yeah. Come on with me. Come on, let's do this. Where are we going?
We're coming to see our characters. So you can
What's
see
this?
here.
It's like a little puppet theater. What we got going on here? Let's watch this scene. Okay.
Hello.
not so good.
How's life in the pastures these days?
Too many butts. Too many butts.
What to do? What to do?
Isn't this the worst puppet show you've ever seen in your entire life? Let me get behind here. There's Jim. We're going to talk to Jim in a second. How are you, ladies?
Very good, thank you. Very busy, as you can see.
Yeah, you're very busy. Don't stress too much now. This is worse than a creche, a play school in here. These guys are going crazy. So what's going on here? Who are these characters we have in front of us?
So these are our friends from the advertisement that we had done for us today to tell the world that we need to get rid of the cigarette butts that are littering our environment.
And this is another one here. Now, Ingrid, I know you're head of social media. You work in the social media. How's it been going so far?
Well, it's been really busy, and now finally we have our first break right now, and that's why I've been playing.
How much coffee have you had today?
About 6 cups.
Yeah, 16
really
cups.
Too much. Oh,
a bit
there's
too
a
much.
butt on my head. Butt head.
I know that the whole team, they've been working so hard over the past week. Like, seriously, like no sleep at nights, putting everything together, because a lot of work was into organising this day.
Absolutely, and not just here in the headquarters, but all around the world, in all of our countries, they've been working really hard. So we're really proud of them.
It must be great to see the payoff. This could be making people want to have a cigarette, the stress of watching this. You better not be advertising for smoking. Don't smoke, kids, and stay in school. That's very important.
Yes, and butts belong in the bin.
Butts belong in the bin. Butts don't lie. Hips don't lie, sorry. I'm getting all confused. What's the most rewarding thing about World Cleanup Day for you?
Oh, now you're asking. The most rewarding thing is telling the world and bringing communities together and just making this happen, you know? It's good.
Making it happen.
Okay,
well, you guys are doing a great job. And look at Jim over here too. Jim, I believe you can say thank you to all the people watching. But there's a problem though, Jim, because people are watching all over the world. So we need you to say thank you in something like 40 languages. Is that possible?
40? I don't know. Pick a country.
France.
Merci beaucoup.
Germany.
Dankeschön.
Finland.
Kiitos.
Italy.
Mille grazie.
Scotland.
Cheers, pal.
I was more British, I think. And by the way, what's with this? Liverpool Football Club?
Absolutely. Champions of everywhere.
Now, I'm going to really put you to the challenge because I know you can say it in 40 languages. I'm from Ireland. How about Irish Gaelic?
Good of Mahagut.
Put it there. Good man. And finally, before we go to our next very interesting interview in Costa Rica, hello there.
Hello.
How come you're not playing with some of these toys?
There are not enough toys.
Not enough toys, and you probably have work to do. What are you working on?
On here with countries, if they have people to call with and so on.
At least there's someone here they can call.
Yes.
At least someone is doing some work. So what have you been noticing so far? What's happening?
Lot of cleaning.
A lot of cleaning?
Yes.
A lot of rubbish being picked up?
Yes.
Well, that's what we want to hear. And one place where they're picking up rubbish is with Christine in Costa Rica, because Christine is a fascinating person. She is a marine biologist and she is seriously passionate about the cause. When she was a young girl, her dad introduced her to the wonderful world of sea turtles, and she's been obsessed with sea turtles ever since. But a few years ago, Christine went viral when, out in the ocean conducting experiments with her colleagues, they found a sea turtle with a bit of plastic in its nose. They started to pull the piece of plastic out while videotaping it, and they pulled a full long plastic straw out of the turtle's nose. It received millions of hits, and she was able to use her new platform and the exposure she had to raise awareness of this. So I caught up with her just a few days ago while she was sitting outside her house on the beach in Costa Rica.
I started working with sea turtles was, I remember even the very first day I spent on the beach here in Costa Rica was the amount of trash that you find everywhere. It's absolutely insane. And I mean, you clean it up and the next tide is just like washing out more. It's very overwhelming. It's just climate change sometimes is very abstract, but plastic pollution is something that, happens at home and that we should all be very aware of, because every day we're creating trash and every day we need to eat, every day most of us go shopping. So there's so many ways of how we can, do little things in our everyday life and literally really every single day that can help my turtles in the ocean. And this one big moment, so I've been talking to people about that for years already, but then in 2015, I was doing a study in water on the Pacific side of Costa Rica, and we found this turtle that had something funny encrusted in its nose. And, we were a bunch of scientists on the boat. So my colleague who did an ectobiome study, that's the little critters, he studies the little critters that live on the turtles, he decided to remove that funny thing from the nose, and it turned out to be a plastic straw. And that was really the moment where I just thought, wow, this is just insane. I mean, plastic is so omnipresent, and it's not just ingestion, but it obviously even turns up in things and parts of animals that we didn't even think of.
Do you see a change in the pattern of what is being washed up on the beaches there? Do you see different types of plastics, different materials, different objects? Are things changing with consumer habits changing?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm in Central America, right? So I think it's still we're probably a little bit behind what waste management concerns, and also the consciousness probably, especially because Costa Rica is really great, but my beach, for example, is right next to Panama, and Panama is not there yet at all. So we still get, I think one of the main objects are plastic bottles, soda bottles, and also things like shampoo bottles, the one that the oil comes in that people use for cooking, Clorox. But of course, ever since the pandemic has started, we see so many masks and stuff like that, which is really, really sad. And that is really frustrating, because I feel for all the good things that have happened in the past years, I feel we're making massive steps backwards right now. And, the plastic industry that is trying to push the narrative that, only plastic is safe, which is, of course, totally BS. But people are so scared that they just kind of, stop thinking and stop, unfortunately, using their reusables as well, probably.
And I think people were just wrapping their heads around the fact that plastic was so environmentally damaging, and now microplastics are being introduced into the equation, and now we're learning about microplastics. And I remember last year on the World Cleanup Day show, we were trying to talk about how that would be tackled, and it's such a complicated thing because of their sheer size, and that how do you filter microplastics out of the ocean? How have you been looking at that in your work or in your studies?
Well, we are even still trying to figure out sometimes how can you easily detect microplastics, right? Because right now it's microplastics maybe not so much because it's still visible, but then when we talk nanoplastics, it's a pretty complicated filtering process, almost chemical already. So we don't really know where all the microplastic is. And I think with microplastic, we actually enter a totally different sphere, because I think we always talk about the effects plastic has on marine life, animals and such. But I think once we start talking about microplastic and nanoplastic, it actually relates directly to us and our health. And I, as a scientist, I am absolutely terrified to see all the studies that are coming out right now. And I'm sure it's just the tip of the iceberg, because we're only starting to study that at all, how microplastics, and especially the toxins that come with that microplastics, are affecting human health. Because, we just recently discovered how important, for example, the gut, especially the gut bacteria, is to our health. It has been linked to mental health, depression, anxiety, allergies, autoimmune diseases, obesity. So, and then you throw all that shit in there, all the microplastic, all the toxins, that is a pretty horrible connection right there. And I think we will probably in the next years learn more of how for probably decades already we've been affected by microplastics. And hopefully moving forward, I think people, at least now that they might be affected directly, and it's not just the sea turtle with a straw in its nose, that they really start thinking, okay, do I really want to have my microwavable meal in plastic, or do I really want to drink out of a plastic water bottle? Because every time we do that, we're consuming so much microplastics. And there's some people try to make it more visual and said, it's up to a credit card of microplastics per week that we're consuming, which is insane if you just think about that. That is insane. Yeah.
Because you would never in a million years chew off a bit of a credit card and swallow it or bite it off.
Exactly. Yeah. So, this is scary. I just think it's really, really scary. And I'm usually not prone to panicking, but I just think that people need to wake up and really think about, if they don't care, like I said, about the animals, but they should care about themselves and about their children and what all of that does to them.
Thank you so much, Christine, for that. Such an enlightening conversation with her there from Costa Rica, and a fascinating person as well. Lives in Texas, left Germany, lives in Texas in the United States, but spends a lot of her time doing her marine biologist work in Costa Rica. So thank you very much for taking time out of your important work to chat to us on the World Cleanup Day show. Now we're coming back here to Estonia, where we're broadcasting from, because I'm going to talk to a very interesting lady next door. We're going to hear from her. Her name is Ruth Aus. She's a fashion designer here who's talking about how she is tackling the problem of waste and recycling. Up to 73% of textile garments are wasted in the production process. So have a look at this.
Today we consume twice as many clothes around the world as 20 years ago. Only 25% of the clothes we use are collected and reused. We are now joined by Ruth Aus, Estonian fashion designer. Ruth, you've taken those issues to your heart, the waste in the textile and fashion industry. How big is the problem and what can be done?
Oh yeah, the problem is really big, and when we're talking about textile waste we have to understand there is two types of waste, the post-consumer waste and the industrial waste. Today, when we are here in Europe, we are mostly talking about post-consumer waste, which is really huge problem. Why? Because let's say all the clothes what we are wearing, they are all different and put together different yarns, and it's really difficult to recycle them. So the topic I have been working with a really long time is called upcycling. It means that you take the material as it is and through design you just make new product out of it. But upcycling is way easier in the industry using the industrial leftovers. But when we are coming here to the post-consumer waste, then we have to understand that in 2025 in EU we have to collect separately all the textile waste and we have to be able to circulate it back. But we don't have actually good technologies to do that right now. There's two ways to do it. It's mechanical recycling and chemical recycling. For the mechanical recycling, we actually would need monomaterials mostly, and it's exactly the same thing when we are talking about chemical recycling. But if you look into our clothes, it's very difficult to find monomaterials. So it's very expensive to collect, to sort, to take zippers and buttons away from the products, and then when you finally have the piece of material, then you face the problem that you maybe have like, I don't know, 80% of cotton, 10% of polyamide and something else. They're all mixed, and it's very difficult to take these apart and use as the raw material. And that's the main problem what we are facing. Even if we are able to collect them, we are not able to circulate.
But still, how to solve this waste issue? Who should take responsibility?
I personally think that it should be shared responsibility, that government actually should really support innovation, that we could find the solutions for the recycling and also how to adapt upcycling into the industry and also how to develop the monomaterials. And then I really truly believe that companies, they have to take responsibility and they have to start designing products they could circulate back. Like this life cycle thinking should be the kind of really mainstream in that industry. Not only in that, in every industry, that we are really able to circulate our resources, and we know actually how to do it. It's just about to implementing it.
As a fashion designer and entrepreneur yourself, how do you solve the problem?
Our brand called Ruth Aus have been working really long time with textile waste only, and there is two ways how we do it. One is upcycling, industrial upcycling. We are working with the big factories in India, Bangladesh, Poland, Japan. Years ago we actually came up with a certification called UpMade. So we work that way that we go into the factory, we certify them to be sure that they're really using the leftovers for our products, and then we start producing. The idea is always to circulate the leftovers inside the factory. So we never transport the leftovers from one place to another. So the second very big, and I can see it actually really grows, at least here in Estonia, is a local upcycling. That people are bringing their old t-shirts for us, for example, and we make new product out of it. And the third and the most complicated way we have been working is recycling, mechanical recycling. We have been collecting old jeans with those kasutuskeskus. We have found few recyclers, we send them over and buy back the yarn, and then we make knits out of it. This is, I would say, really just in the beginning. The development took really like 3 years to get the nice product out, but I can say it's really happening, and it's one way how to do it. And for the natural fibers, this mechanical recycling is really good, and we can do it here in Europe as well. Italy is really trying to develop that part of recycling.
Retaus, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Rita Aus, and a very interesting look at what happens there and the really serious issue of textile waste in the process of creating clothes. Now, we are going to Ukraine. A while ago, we were talking to Hedy about Belarus. Just under Belarus is the country of Ukraine, and let's check in there with Yulia.
Hello. So we are finishing now official cleanup. We have 24 regions and more like 1,000 locations, and more like 50,000 participants official in this day now. But we counting every 1 hour. Today we have recycling in location and 3 options. It is individual cleanup because quarantine and red zone. It is group cleanup and family cleanup, and of course a digital cleanup. So we are working.
And who are the guys behind you?
It's my team, national team. Let's do it, Ukraine.
It's nice to meet you all. And then, like you said, Julia, 50,000 people all over Ukraine and still counting. How do you feel about this turnout? Is it what you expected?
I'm so happy. I'm so happy, but I think we'll number more after this day, and we will clean in our country all this week.
So it's not only World Cleanup Day, but a World Cleanup Week for you guys.
Yes.
So when you have collected the trash, then what type of trash did you mostly find?
Okay. It was something from the cigarettes, because it was like the first cigarettes. And
can you say that again?
Masks. And also the cigarettes, the first. And also it was a lot of plastic, like some bottles, some plastic bags or something.
So the masks, that's definitely a new issue, right? Because of the pandemic. Yes. How can you, I don't know, do you have a number of how many masks or an amount, how much of it actually you found?
I think every one person has in our garbage bag 5-6 masks, every one participant.
So Julia and the team, what's next?
Next, we are counting and preparing next World Cleanup Day. So because we want 5 million people outside, yes, we have a big idea. So
we can ask about
next year.
We can ask about this next year then. 5 million people. Wow, that's great. Next year.
It is our idea.
Okay, but thank you so much. I think I will let you go as well now. So thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yuli, there in Ukraine. And for those of you who are in the World Cleanup Day community, the family, you'll know that Yuli is just an amazing character. And we appreciate all you do on social media all year round, not just on World Cleanup Day. So thank you, Yuli, and thank you, Ukraine. Now, we are going to take an overview look at what's been happening across Europe today, because we've been checking in with the countries individually. But now it's time to talk to Anna Grill. Hello, my friend. Come into camera there. Look, you're on the TV there. Okay, goodbye. I made a friend and then I lost a friend. But here's another friend I have. Her name is Anna Grill. She's the Regional Director for Europe of Let's Do It World.
And now we have with us Anna Grill, who is the Regional Director of Let's Do It World in the European region. Anna, what is the role of World Cleanup Day in Europe, where we already have waste management systems? Do we even need it here?
Oh, yes, we do. Just judging by the amounts of waste that we are still able to collect from the streets, from nature, we definitely need it. The situation is that even if we do have efficient systems for waste collection and potentially sorting and recycling, there's still a lot to be done on the awareness side of things. Like, people tend to think that if the waste is being taken care of, then they don't have to worry and they can later, it's okay, someone will clean up. Obviously, it's not as it is. I mean, it should be that every single individual takes care of their own waste and do not litter. So there's World Cleanup Day is before, even before being a cleanup event, it's actually an awareness raising event. I mean, it's there to help and open eyes of people that don't want to see that waste is everywhere in our life and we don't manage it well.
But how can we influence those people to consume less or sort more waste?
Well, actually, one thing that World Cleanup Day is very efficient at, it's convincing people that waste is an issue, that we do produce too much and that we don't put it in the right places when it's actually going for waste. So really, like, inviting people to go into action, to go to cleanups, is one first step to realizing that we do have, as individuals, a real problem with waste. So inviting to act is one thing. And as I said, raising awareness, which goes with informing people. So via World Cleanup Day, you can also, beyond cleanups, cleanup actions, you can organize awareness raising events. You can actually go for zero waste approaches, introduce what zero waste is to people that are a bit scared about this term of zero waste, like, oh, zero waste is impossible. No, it's not. And first of all, it's a philosophy, it's an approach, it's a process. It's not something that comes into your life from one day to another. It's a whole process. And actually, World Cleanup Day is really a nice platform, a nice opportunity, because you have the waste at hand, like physically, like technically. So you can actually use this waste that you have just collected to raise awareness and to explain to people why this piece of waste is recyclable, it's kind of okay, why this piece of waste is not recyclable, it's not okay, and why the best piece of waste is the one that does not exist.
This year's focus are cigarette butts. How big of a problem are those, in your opinion?
Well, the figures speak for themselves. I mean, we are talking about 6 trillions of cigarette butts, or cigarette butts that are produced, and 3/4 of them, so 4.5 trillions of cigarette butts end up on the streets, in nature, and down the line in the water. So, I mean, just this figure is striking enough to realize that we do have a problem with cigarette butts. Most people tend to think that cigarette butts are made of cotton, of cellulose. It's not the case. Cigarette butts are made of plastics, and we almost all know by now what plastics do in our lives and how problematic they are. They are actually obviously damaging the sea life, the water life in general, but in the end they end up in our own food chain, which means that we eat plastic every day with all the nasty compounds that they contain. So that's for the plastic parts. Plus, cigarette butts actually contain numbers of like hundreds of chemicals, of hazardous chemicals in very small amounts. But if you add the 4.5 trillions of cigarette butts littered every year, then the figures build up, and we are talking about a massive pollution.
But to speak about other areas of cleaning, then I have heard that digital cleanups are going especially strong in France. Would you agree?
Yes, I would, and yes, I do. Obviously, this cyber cleanup, digital cleanup idea came very strong this year because of the sanitary situation, because of the COVID situation. But it's already something that we had been working on in France, in Estonia as well. But so actually, both projects came together to build a concept that we proposed to the whole world to replace or to complement actually physical cleanups this year. In France, we have started a partnership with an institute for responsible numerical use, basically. It's an institute that brings together big companies and research entities that actually advocate for responsible numerical use, responsible numerical practices. And through this partnership with the INR, that's the name of this institute, we are actually able to support big companies, like massive corporations that want to be part of World Cleanup Day, but because of the COVID situation, could not bring their employees on the field. But they definitely got on board and decided to participate via this the Cyber World Cleanup Day. And so we are going to have massive events in very, very big companies in France, and also with citizens individually that will also participate on their side, or with a group of friends, or with their family. But really the big numbers will most probably come from the big companies.
Thank you so much, Anna, and good luck with keeping Europe clean.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey. Just taking a little break. The guy behind the camera was like, "You're on air, you're on air." That is it. Thank you so much to who was on just there? Who were we talking to? But it was, oh yes, the overview of Europe. Anna, thank you so much. We're taking a little break back there. Anyway, we're going to be back with more over the day here live from Tallinn in Estonia. And still to come, checking in with more countries, more experts and all that, and all our volunteers. We'll see you very soon. Thank you for watching.
Mangishilana Jerusalem ikayalami ilonoloze uhambe nami sumangishilana.
Have you ever wondered how our environment would look like if it was not polluted? Well, I can already imagine. Lesizulu bathi izihlahla eziluhlaza, amanzi ahlanzekile anele wonke umuntu. Kodwa kulesi sikhathi siphila kuso akusekho konke. Asihlanganeni ma-South Africa manje sivikele